What is going on, everybody? It's Mother Loving Monday.
Oh, I'm in the wrong place.
I'm at the wrong place, wrong time. It's Monday, and we are podcasting. Sexy Bigfoot with the first, Maggie with the close second. Let's see. Maggie asked what I was going to ask as well. Sexy Bigfoot has been trying to get onto a schedule for pizza delivery just to make a little money.
Very nice.
And it was looking like he wasn't going to get on the schedule. He had been trying to talk to the guy and he wouldn't give him an answer, and then eventually he got finally got put on the schedule. And it looks like he had a good old time.
Let's go.
Big bet. Well, we love that for you, Sexy Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Welcome in, Mike. How are you doing? It's been a while.
It's been too long.
Has it been more than 2 weeks, or has it just been 2?
No, I think it's been 2. It was just last week.
It always just feels like so long. We say it every time.
It's crazy. It's to the point where I was like, okay, I have to understand that this was 2 weeks because I have completely lost track of time. I have no clue how long it was.
It's like when you skip something in your routine and you're like, oh, it's Thursday, right? And you're like, no, dude, it's Wednesday, or whatever.
No, it's fall, dude.
It's fall, bro.
Yeah.
You missed all of summer. Oh God. Yeah, we're back. We're here.
Good to be back. Happy to be here.
I'm also happy to be here. Real happy. Yeah. Freaking poked a hole in my head today with a nail that was sticking up out of there were just some nails like this, and I stood up a little bit too tall and just barely poked them. Bled just a tiny bit. Just a casual impalement. It was all good though.
Well, I mean, like, I'm guessing it was indoors, but it was the second floor that you hit, right? It wasn't just you.
Technically outside, because we made the inside outside, and then we're gonna make it inside again. We just haven't.
We brought the outside inside,
and we haven't made it outside again, or whatever. But I was up on scaffolding, and the ceiling is like 18 feet in this room, and I was on scaffold, and I still hit my head.
Yeah, I was on scaffolding. Yeah, you tall ass.
You up to date on tetanus? I have no idea what these nuts. I don't know.
I read that as tinnitus, and I was like, then that's not tetanus. And I was like, wait, I can't read this. I can't read. 10 years.
10 years? I probably have it, I would guess. I don't know. Did I get a tetanus shot at 18 years old?
Didn't you get one for when we were working together? Because there were so many.
Did I?
Rusty things that we got poked by.
I'm not allergic to rust. I don't.
I have iron in my blood. Why would I be scared of it going in me?
I've never played Tetris in my life. That was a good one, Maggie. But welcome in, everybody. Michael, have you heard about the penny fairy?
Maybe. I don't think it's the same thing you're thinking of.
It's probably not.
No.
Probably much different. I don't know, because it's a rhetorical question, really, because I found
I didn't know you knew him.
I found him on TikTok.
Okay.
So I assumed that you didn't know because you're not on TikTok.
I've never heard of this. Yeah.
If you start foaming at the mouth, haven't started foaming at the mouth yet. And to be fair, the nails weren't that rusty. Anyhow, the penny fairy on TikTok. There is, so you know, if you've been on TikTok at any length of time, you've seen TikTok lives pop up, and there's just people on there asking you for money, essentially.
Yeah.
They're just like, and not even in a like roundabout sense. Like, I'm talking like people are there like, hey, I just need to pay my rent this year, you know, like, and they're just asking people for money, which, you know, get that bag, whatever you got to do. However, if you are in a position that you are asking for money to complete strangers on the internet, beggars can't be choosers. And that's where we get to the penny fairy, who is an account on TikTok who screen records his phone, him giving 1 penny to people's Cash Apps or like Venmos or whatever. Some of these places have a like a limit, but like you have to give $5 or whatever, right? So like it won't send a transaction. But I watched a video of his, and he gave this lady 1 cent on her PayPal. Sent, and his name is the Penny Fairy. And so it comes through, and she's like reading her. She's like, "Oh, we got," and she goes, "Someone named the Penny Fairy just gave me a penny." She was like, "Who would give somebody just a penny?" And she starts complaining that the Penny Fairy gave whole entire page is people losing their ish because he gave them a penny. And it's so funny because these people are waiting for you to give them like, I don't know, like $5, but he just floats in, gives them a penny, and catches their reaction. And let me tell you, when I watched it several times, I was you ungrateful friggin' little goober. And I bet he's making more than a penny. The Penny Fairy probably makes more than the people begging for money on TikTok Live, just from just because of views from his videos. But anyway,
dude, and that could decimate somebody for like not being grateful. Yeah, because like if you got hit with the Penny Fairy, that's a valuable penny.
That's a Penny Fairy penny. Like that's not even just game, you know. And it's crazy because, you know, beggars can't be choosers, and you're on TikTok Live begging people for money, and then people give you money, and you're gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
Exposed.
That's amazing. America, they can. That's fair.
Yeah. Which leads me to my next thought that I had the other day. How funny would it be to... So, like, you're in a parking lot somewhere, you roll up, there's a dude with the Cybertruck, right?
Oh, jeez.
There's a dude with a Cybertruck, right? Mm-hmm. Outside of his truck, I don't know, loading groceries, whatever. Now, regardless of what you think about the Cybertruck, that's not in question. I'm not. This can go, because I personally, it kind of grew on me a little bit. Like, if somebody gave me a Cybertruck, I'm not gonna complain, right? If the Cybertruck Fairy wants to pop in here and give me one, I'm gonna be grateful.
Is that just like Elon with an alt account?
Yeah. They're like $125,000, right? Something crazy like that. $100,000.
They are?
$100,000 at least.
Okay.
But here's the scenario that I've come up with in my brain that I think would be an absolute hilarious thing. You roll up, there's a dude with a Cybertruck, you hop out, you're like, man, that's, you know, look at that. You got a Cybertruck. And the guy, he's obviously going to start talking about how great it is, right? Because when you buy something like that, you don't just... You got to tell people about it, right?
For the message.
It's
not just the car.
And so they'll start telling you, oh yeah, the little thing on the back, it's great and it's bulletproof. And then you go, yeah, man. I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers, but you do get what you can, you know. And then you just drive off. You just drive off.
Oh,
you hit them with the beggars can't be choosers. You know,
that'd be amazing.
I guess if that's what you can get, you know, if that's all you could get, that's cool. I think they would just absolutely flip their lid.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Like me personally, I could splurge for a Corolla. Yeah. But you know, you get what you can.
Hey, get what you can. Or you roll up and shoot at their vehicle. Just pop up.
No, you don't even need a gun. You just need a water balloon. Nice drive. Little known fact about Justin. Oh, so
Michael's will.
No, and I love that. So back when J Bob and I were doing construction, we came up with a little plan because everyone online is sort of anonymous.
Yeah.
But basically, we would make accounts and just go around on like, stuff that we follow. Mainly blue collar workers talking about the grind and how
Yeah.
fulfilling it is. But go on to like people who work on oil derricks, and whenever they post a video talking about it, just go in the comments and be like, y'all get paid way too much money.
Just trolling people.
just to make them mad.
Oh man.
And construction, just everything. And it's coming from people.
I was at Target today, and when I tell you the amount of self-control that I have to have on a daily basis not to do just the most like nothing to ever hurt anybody, right? I'm never like I want to hit that person with my shopping cart or whatever, or my car or whatever. Never anything that's like seriously damaging.
Right.
But I had to go to the bathroom at Target. So I walked in, went to the bathroom, and this Target had like a little hallway, kind of like at malls, how there's like a little hallway down to the bathroom. And so I went in. I also have been jackhammering brick off of the side of a building all day long. So I'm covered. I look like it looks like after a good concrete day from PMPA, like when we were doing Walmart, You're just covered in dust. Oh, yeah. Even if you try to blow yourself off, you still look completely ashy. That's what I look like. Yeah. I come out of the bathroom, and there's like this 5'2" maybe girl walking down the hallway, and I walk out and I pick a side of the hallway and we pass each other. The urge to like stomp and do like one of those,
like the dog shake.
Yeah, like just one of those.
Oh, that.
Yeah, like bah!
Yeah.
It was, when I tell you, it was overwhelming. That we passed and I was smiling after we passed because I was like, I could have done it. And then I started thinking, what would be the ramifications of that? Would I have gotten in trouble? Probably not. I didn't do anything other than, I could have claimed
the worst
threats. I don't know.
The worst thing you could do is, the worst thing you could do is they could do is probably throw you out for doing it.
Yeah. Oh,
I think that's the worst.
She was probably 5'2" and maybe 24 years old. Like she was, like old enough. But you can ask Maggie, every time we drive and there's someone on the side of the road, I'm like, I want to honk so bad just to see if they'll jump. Because like nobody does that. You don't honk at people on the side of the road.
Right. That's why you kind of need a the only reason I would endorse you to get a electric car is because they're so quiet. So you can sneak up on people.
You could sneak up on people.
It's just amazing.
Or he just starts honking. I did that the other day. We were driving down the road and I just started honking. Just held it on the horn.
Were you screaming at the same time? Because I've seen that.
I've done that before, but I wasn't at this moment.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, let's talk about, we were talking about electrical vehicles. I heard the most, that hallway story wouldn't fly with me. I'd get shot. Well, I'm white, so
he's doing it for you.
I'm trying to use my privilege to the fullest.
Right.
And then tell you about it so that you can live vicariously.
That's what you do is you record the thing and they're like, why would you do that? And you're like, I'm doing it for my black friend who can't do this.
That is so funny. I asked my black friend what kind of reparations he wanted, and he said he wants me.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Love it.
With great power comes great municipality. But electric cars. I was in a parking lot, and I hear, and I understand. Let me just tell you what I heard. I'm standing there in the parking lot, and I hear this electric car backing out of a parking space, and it's making like this obnoxious like droning noise, like ooh, like it's borderline music, but like not. It's just ooh, and then it like puts it in park, and then ooh, drives off. Right?
Weird.
And it's a feature in this car
Oh, geez. Okay.
to like because it doesn't make any noise to like warn like instead of beep beep, it just like makes this awful. I think what it's supposed to sound like is supposed to be like a. It sounds like someone's trying to play all the chords that go together in a key at the same time. If that makes sense. Like if you could play every like in the key of G, if you played every chord that goes in the key of G at the same time on the piano, it just it didn't sound good.
That's how I sing.
And I understand like why for the noise, but I was like, that is so obnoxious. I would hate that if that was if I had to listen to my car do that every time I backed out.
Of course, it might be like the people inside. It might be insulated to the point where they don't notice it as much. They don't hear it,
yeah.
But also, what was that? I think it was Tesla's. They had like programmable sounds.
Yeah.
For different features.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my biggest sell for those vehicles because I want to just like. There's so much I want to do with that.
Yeah, I heard somebody. I don't know what they did to make it happen, but there was some kind of Mario. Like let's go or something when they maybe when they unlocked it or something. I don't know. I was at a gas station and I heard it like really loud and I turned around and I was like, oh, it's a Tesla, and there was just like a family getting into a Tesla. What's up, Brandy? How you doing?
Fantastic. Hey, Brandy.
I feel like I would have to change that a lot though. Like I couldn't keep it the same thing for very long.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
1 week and then I'd have to change up the sounds.
Oh, dude, could you imagine doing like a TIE fighter sound for accelerating?
Just or however that's my best TIE fighter. That was terrible.
No, that was good. That was good. I don't think my mic could pick up my impression. But
it would just clip.
Yeah.
And just Mike would sound like a TIE fighter getting shot down. But,
exactly.
Welcome in, everybody.
Yeah.
Brandy, how you doing? I already asked you that. You're great. I'm great. That's
fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm going to say it. But last time we were here, we talked about Troy. We watched the movie Troy. Mike's frozen. Mike is frozen. There, he's back. Maybe.
Yeah, you were cutting out for me.
Okay, I think we're back.
Maybe. Troy. I can hear
Troy.
you.
Yeah, we were talking about Troy. We watched the movie Troy, and how Troy the movie is based off of the book The Iliad. And so I was like, well, I need a new book. I was glitching too. Are we good now? I think we're good now. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna jump into this book and see what's up. Little did I know, this book, the movie Troy and the book The Iliad. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same because it's got to be a movie. But the difference that like, there's usually they're pretty parallel, right?
Yeah.
Not even close with this book. There was so much more
it's crazy.
in this book that's not in the movie about like how involved like all the gods are. Like they're actually involved. Like there's like Zeus and everybody's like there's whole conversations that aren't even like had with people. It's all the Greek mythology gods, right?
Yeah.
And then also the book reads like the Old Testament. So it was very like every time they said one person's name, there was 4 names that went along with that one name. And there was a point in the book where like random dude character, random battle guy 47 got killed and they said his name. I'm like, you're reading this like it's a history book. Like that person, like that was a fake person that just you know what I mean?
Right. I think that's why like so many people think it's like an actual story.
Yeah.
And like there are parts of it that apparently are true, but when I went into it, I thought it was some sort of, I thought maybe like 10% mythology and 90% like what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, at least as far as I got, it was like 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot in that book that read like a history book, but then it would be like, yeah, and then Zeus and the guys were all in friggin' Mount Olympus talking about how and you're like, whoa.
Did you so I don't know if we got the same translation, because there's like multiple translations.
Oh.
Just like the Old Testament, but the one I got, every time they mentioned Zeus, they were like, Zeus who rides on thunder. Like, every time. It's not just Zeus, it's like Zeus the one who rides on thunder, or something like that. It's amazing.
Maybe.
And it would do that. I think there was one, I don't know, it must have been like 3 paragraphs, and they repeated that like 10 times.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're writing a paragraph, you usually just do it the first time,
right?
Maybe the last time.
Yeah.
And then all the Zeuses are like, that Zeus is who we're talking about.
Right. We're obviously
but every single time is Zeus, the one who rides on thunder. Zeus, the friend of thunder. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let me see.
It was hilarious. I was really enjoying that.
Find it real quick.
I started that, and then last week I essentially was babysitting my niece all week.
Oh,
so I had to cut it out.
I don't even know where it's at.
But yeah, great, really fun book.
I didn't finish it. I couldn't do it.
That's interesting, Caleb. I love that theory. To Justin's point, reading or the difference between the Iliad and the movie Troy was kind of like if the Iliad is all of the Star Wars movies,
yeah,
Troy is like one episode of the Clone Wars. Like, it's crazy how much was cut. Or just not included.
I guess, I don't know if this is the one that you have, but it's the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer.
I got those independently, so I don't think it's that one.
I think it was just a bundle. I got both of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting, like, it was interesting, but it was just too many, like,
so they spoke.
Too many names, you know? It was like just so many names. And it wasn't ever just like one person's name. It was like Justin, son of Scott, grandson of Norman. You know, it was like, what the,
bro,
from the land of where, and I'm like, I don't need to know all of this. I just need to know that his name is Justin, you know?
Right. They were talking about people who, like, they were just talking in the Iliad. They were talking about people who did something, but they were like, they said, I sent it to Justin Scott because this just out of context was hilarious, but it was like, so and so, who, even though he was steeped in bird law, it could not save him from the black hand of death. I was like, what?
Just,
like,
yeah,
the bird law?
Yeah.
What?
Hold up, we need a whole nother book for what that is.
Wait, hold on. Bird law was like satiated death. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah,
I was like, I said, you have as much context as I do, and I just sent that clip.
And he's like, listen, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? Brandy, are you still in here?
That's a hard one.
Because we had Brandy's movie today. I want to get her before she leaves.
Yeah. Did you see what Caleb said?
Yeah.
I love that idea.
That is a cool theory.
A game theory. God, that would be so... I'm all about synthesizing things. So if that like tickles my brain quite a bit, to think of.
Mike's gonna go down a rabbit hole tonight about.
Yeah. I'm gonna write a book.
His fingers are gonna be on fire tonight.
Right.
Well, I don't know if Brandy's in here, but let's talk about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
We watched Eli was the movie this week. It is a horror film?
2019
horror?
I guess it's a horror. I think it's a horror film. Yeah. That'd probably be the closest thing to it.
Yeah. And I'm not I'm not big into horror films. Maggie watched it with me. I'm not huge into horror films. It's not my cup of tea. I find them pretty predictable. You can ask Maggie, we would sit there and I was like, this is going to happen right now. And then half a second later, boom, it would happen. And I'm like,
right.
You can hear it coming. You can see it. You can feel it coming. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, this movie.
The movie. What?
I said, oh man, this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting film. You get zero context right out the rip.
No context.
Zero context. He didn't do any of that. He was crying and shaking the whole time. Yeah, that's me. A horror film, yes. It starts out of this. It's this kid walks outside, all of a sudden starts burning to death, seemingly from the inside out, and he's just screaming. And then he's wakes up in a incubator, essentially, and he gets brought to this facility for treatment to fix his problem of not being able to breathe air because of too many. Eventually, you hear about this condition that he has where there's toxins in the air and he can't breathe right.
He allegedly has an immune disorder.
Yeah,
yeah.
Obviously, it's all everything feels a little off, right? Because it's a horror film, right? You didn't push play on this and not know.
Well, I mean, I did. I didn't know it was a horror film.
Big spooky mansion, right? And I mean, as soon as allergies to air, right, gets in this mansion, starts seeing stuff. They start setting up the ookie spook. First night he's there, he hears tapping on the window, and then he sees breathing on the glass, right, and then fingers on the thing. So, anyway, I feel like I can explain this whole movie, but I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, oh goodness gracious. This movie, man.
Tell us about it, Mike.
So, gosh, where do I even start? This movie came out in 2019, and I believe it was. Did Netflix help make this?
I have no.
I know MTV did. So, I have it. I was doing, writing notes, and my summary for the movie is MTV makes a religious horror movie, and that it's exactly what you think it would be. Yeah. Not very much depth to it. Man, you were talking about calling things before they happened. This might be the most predictable. Okay, that's another thing. I enjoy horror movies all over the spectrum. Not a lot scares me, but best horror movies come from the East. Oh, dude, yeah. But so this one, it was so predictable. Yeah. I have never seen a horror movie so predictable in my life. And my favorite horror movie of all time is could be called similar in storyline, where it's in subject matter. Sorry, not storyline, subject matter.
Sure.
This movie. If this is an introduction to horror movies, it's not a good one. Like, there were so many just jump scares, and jump scares can be effective, but they're so often just overused because it's, especially in this movie. Not trying to throw any shade. I'm trying not to throw shade. I am, but it wasn't like, some jump scares are really effective because the buildup is so good, and they don't even need audio cues for the jump scare. This one was like, they pulled out all the stops just to try and jump scare you. Right. And it's like, you don't even have faith in your own scares. Like, man.
Objectively, the best jump scares are when there's zero sound.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And even then you can still kind of predict it, because it's usually like a pan. You're panning, or a door's opening, or like there's a setup. There's either a visual setup or of audio, or an audio setup, right? Whether it be music or lack of sound. That is like almost always gives it away. I will say, I've played more horror games than I have watched horror films. And Batwan, our buddy Bat, had me play Resident Evil 7.
Yes.
And the part that was supposed to, he was watching the stream, and I guess the part that was supposed to scare me didn't, right? Because I knew it was coming, right? It's a very predictable moment. There's like this lady that like up the staircase. Now I did get jump scared in this game one time, and it was when you finished fighting somebody, right? You get away or whatever, and and the, whether it's conscious or not, your body like kind of relaxes a little bit, right? Because you're tense, you're like running away, like, oh, they're gonna get me, and then you get away. And I walked up like 4 steps, and all of a sudden, like, not the person that was chasing you, but another person that's in the game that's scary pops up like upside down in the staircase, and I was like, it got me.
Jeez.
But it was because they made you like scared, right? You're getting chased, and then they're like, okay, you're safe now, and then they're like, psych, you're not, you know. And it, like, that was one of the best jump scares that I've had, other than like Doom 2016 when you're running around.
I was gonna say, you said the most like jump scared you ever got was in Doom 2016.
Yeah,
right.
Because you're trying not to die, and all of a sudden you turn around and a Hell Knight's freaking.
That's like, good morning, mother.
Yeah,
and just lands on you. No. This movie. I wanted to like it. The best compliment I could come up with it was, I'm glad these actors got some work. It's like, that's because I did like some of the actors. I was happy to see that they were working.
Yeah,
and that's not, you know,
that's not what you really want. That's not really what you want when you watch a movie.
Also, this movie, one thing that just keeps gnawing at my brain. This movie had 3 writers. Did
they write separately and then come together?
I'm guessing so. Because I finished the movie and I was like, okay. And then the 3 writers popped up. I'm like, how? Like, how did this have 3 writers? Half the movie takes place with just the kid at night.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's no dialogue to write, but man. Just a weird man, and it's so, because I was trying to predict what was gonna happen, because it was so predictable with the moment to moment what was gonna happen. And I was trying to like figure out what lore they were going with to make this movie, and just the end of it, I was kind of mad because I was like, there's so many ways you could go with this, and you picked like the least researched one. Yeah. Apparently. Jump scares are cheap fear. We gotta earn them by Yes. Instilling a sense of dread, but also you have to make sure people care about who the subject is. Ooga Booga lore. Dad gets around weak. Really kills.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
like a Disney Channel, like Disney XD. That was what that was. Freaking, it was a little edgy.
Oh man, this seemed like a student film, but not in any good way.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody was.
Another part.
This wasn't their first job.
Another part of the movie that I was like, was. Oh, excuse me.
You good?
Was the way that it was like a mystery also.
Yeah.
And how he figured it out. And I was like, okay. There was a 3-digit code on that door that also happened to be your name, like upside down. Yeah. How did that happen?
That is a good point. That is a good point.
Who puts a 3-digit code on a top secret, like?
And
my iPhone won't even let me put a 3-digit code on it. Like,
right?
Like,
that's so.
What nuts. Are you got like a school locker or something?
Someone with a bad memory. Yeah. Also, I was trying to figure out who I was supposed to be like sympathize with.
Yeah.
Because the way it's portrayed, you know, the kids seeing stuff, but it's also not like physical things, so you can't be like 100% this is what he's seeing. Yeah. And then he's also apparently having issues with memory and psychological or hallucinations. So, you know, you kind of sympathize for him or the parents or the people in charge, but then it like gives you way more reasons not to trust anybody.
Right.
You know? The kind of climax of the movie, do we want to spoil this?
Sure.
Okay. So he's levitating 3 burning nuns.
Upside down.
Yeah.
They were inverted.
And I was giggling because
so he was levitating 3 burning nuns. That needs to be clipped, and just that part. Just that part right there.
Bro, but like I was like, this is so unearned and like no stakes whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what's going on. Like I thought for sure he was a vampire, and then I'm like, a vampire doesn't have any of these.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, he's the son of the devil. And I'm like, the devil doesn't have any of these. Like,
yeah.
what is going on here?
Yeah, all of a sudden he has superpowers.
Yeah.
Devil powers.
Made up devil powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not seen The Wailing. I've heard it's amazing though.
Burns the place down with his feet.
Yeah, and the fire spreading thematically as opposed to logically.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, oh my gosh, man, this movie. I think it might have been a good like drunk movie because it's so. Man, it's not even dumb fun though. It's just like kind of stupid.
I would say that the one scene where I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. Is he was walking down the hallway and then his like shirt did like
I thought that was cool too.
Thing, and I was like, oh, that was actually kind of cool.
Special effects were pretty dang good.
But other than that, I was like, I don't know.
When he first sees the creepy girl, I thought that was because it was like it was something out of the focus of your eye, and then it happens. But to me, I wasn't scared. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that's creepy but interesting.
I am tempted to, along with musicals and 4-hour-long movies, decide to not take horror film suggestions because I feel like all of them are going to get low rankings from me.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I like they're on probably the bottom of the list of movie genres that I like. You know, if I were to take them all and like put them together.
Man, it's thank you, Maggie.
And I know that there's better ones out there, but it's like that's like I feel like horror movies are like IPAs, and if you like them, you like them, or you just pretend that you like them, and then if you try to get into them, you're just like, you know, like this tastes like dirt.
They're also, it's so subjective about what scares different people.
You would have liked Dude Party Massacre 3.
We tried, like, we looked for that, and it just wasn't on anywhere. Because that was, like, one of your first suggestions, Sexy Bigfoot.
Also, my wife will have nightmares.
Yeah, that's true.
She goes, and now I can't look in the mirror. And I was like, well, shoot.
Oh, man. That's, on the plus side, you get to scare her whatever you want. Look back, like, just pop around there.
I walked into the kitchen and I was like, ooh, it smells good in here. And she said, oh, like, just, I walk in, and it's a hard thing to decide because it's like, do I say something or do I just sneak in and then she finds out and still gets scared. She was wielding a knife. I almost died.
Daggone.
I'm just kidding.
Freaking strapped.
So I have a great 4-hour movie suggestion. No, I'm sure you do, Kevin. It's called Lawrence of Arabia. I'll just say it. I live here. Like I'm gonna be here.
You gotta wear like a high vis when you're inside.
I gotta wear a bell, I think is what I need. I gotta stay strapped so the double child doesn't come get me.
That, like, I understand if we don't do horror movies, and that's fine. I would rather you not watch a horror movie if you're not, like, all the ones I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy them or have fun watching them, for me that's worse than not watching them at all.
Sure.
Because so like, I'm okay with that.
I want people to enjoy what they want to enjoy, so I'm not over here like hating on horror movies. They're just not for me. They're just not my not my thing.
It took 3 people to write that, Maggie. That's what's crazy.
And
oh my gosh, man, I can't with this movie.
So what do you rate it? What's your rating this movie?
I was gonna give it a 5.
Be honest.
I was gonna give it a 5 just because there's like nothing wrong with the visuals. Acting was all right. Like nothing to write home about. Like none of this was to write home about. Some of the visual effects were great.
The mom plays the same character in everything she plays.
Have you seen her in Yellowstone?
No.
Okay, I think she's her best work, and it's 5 is average. I would say this is below a 5 though. The more I think about it, the more annoyed I get with the movie. So
yeah, honestly, I feel like we rate movies high because if 5 is average, I feel like a lot of the movies that I watch, I in my brain, and this is a fault that I have of my own, I'll give an average movie like a 7. I'm like, that was okay. That was all right. You know? Like the jump from really bad to okay is pretty high. Like, you know. So maybe I need to be more well,
for my rating thing, it's like if you completed the movie, that's more than most things, you know what I mean? So like the editor did something. For me, I know how much work goes into this stuff, so it's like I usually give it like at least a 5.
Yeah.
And only when it's like lacking will it go under that, because like usually I think if I can do better, it's like that's when.
Listen, if I'm the Dave Portnoy of movies, you know, one watch, everybody knows the rules. I'm not watching it twice.
Oh, that would, no kidding.
So
what would you rate? So I'm gonna say 4.
You're gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
it lost a lot of points just because it was a horror movie. And that's not, you shouldn't go into movies already having like I'm not gonna like this movie, but I knew that I wasn't gonna enjoy really this movie that much. If things that could have made my score higher would be like a solid story. Because I feel like characters. For me, and granted, I've only seen 3 horror movies in my entire life, and I can't even name the third one. I've seen it and this one, and I don't know what else there is. Right?
Cats
was the worst one.
I found Cats scarier than this.
And what I find is that there's not a story. There's just scary, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so if there was like a better story to go along with the scary, then it would be a higher rating. But I just am not. I'm not into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and that's what a lot of horror movies have problems with is story. Horror, like I see a lot of parallels between horror movies and comedy movies because it's like just because one person finds this funny, just because one person finds it scary, that doesn't mean everybody will.
That's very true. I would. That is a great comparison, I think.
And also like in order for something to be funny, it usually doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Sure. So like story kind of gets thrown out in comedies because it's like, well, if this was all logical, they wouldn't be put in a funny situation.
Right.
So with horror movies, I think you can do that a lot better and they just don't. But there's different types of horror movies too. Like slashers and stuff like that, body horror.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of what I really want to know is how did this get made? Really, there's so many better ideas I think out there.
I don't know.
Also, the guy who directed this also directed a sequel to what I think is the best horror movie, or at least my favorite horror movie of all time, and it's up there with the scariest. But he directed the sequel to it, and that like was terrible. So I found that out after I watched this movie. I was like, oh, no wonder I thought this sucked. This guy's not a good director.
The one horror movie that I've ever, and you're like real horror movie fans are like, there's no horror movie. It's a suspense movie. Is The Quiet Place. I've wanted to see that one. I haven't seen it yet. But it's the only one that I saw like a commercial for and was like, I would watch that.
Yeah. It's I really like the first one a lot.
But haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will eventually.
Evan just watched it the other day.
Yeah.
The first time. But yeah, I recommend that one. And it, like you said, it's not even a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's very intense.
More suspense.
Supernatural thriller. I wouldn't even say supernatural. But it's not something that happens every day. Alien invasions. Yeah, no. So is this the lowest we've rated since Cats?
What did we give Cats?
We gave Cats a 0, both of us.
Yep. This is the lowest movie we've rated in a long time.
I think I gave it a 1, maybe. Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber was in the 4s. I know that.
Yeah.
So Dumb and Dumber beat this movie.
Yeah. I feel bad for, like, I don't want to besmirch Brandy for suggesting it. Like, I'm glad we watched it, but man, there's so many more scary movies.
I think it's Heather's movie next, isn't it?
Yes, it's Heather's movie. Let's see. I looked this up earlier, but I forgot. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Or I Care a Lot. She moved it up, didn't she?
Yeah, I think I Care a Lot because she asked me about that one recently.
Yes. Okay, I need to write that down. I'm very interested in watching this one.
I have seen parts of Forrest Gump. I've not seen the entirety of Forrest Gump. I think
same.
I know the story of Forrest Gump, but I don't know the whole the thing, you know?
Yeah. I think same. I don't think I've watched it all the way through, but I think I've seen all of it. You know what I mean? But yeah. What is it?
Oh, Maggie said I care a lot.
That's what I saw.
Okay. I thought Maggie, I missed that, and I thought she was looking forward to Forrest Gump.
No. Wait, what's nuts? Oh, probably about Forrest Gump. You gotta get some good crawfish for Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, little shrimp boil.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm not a huge fan of crawfish. They are way too much work for too little of meat that you get out of them.
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to like eat the whole thing like I've watched people do on the internet, where they just are like, yeah, you just pop the whole thing in there and just chomp it up. And like, nah.
That doesn't seem like a good idea. I
don't
want to be real with you, Chief.
I don't want to do that. Have you seen the guy on TikTok who just, or I guess you haven't. There's a guy on TikTok and he's just, okay, listen. No, I'm not even gonna say anything about it. It's this dude on TikTok, and he just gets chicken or like lobster or the one I've seen the most of is him and chicken, and he'll just like eat the bones. He like actually chomps the bones, and I'm like, how does your digestive system break that down enough to where you're not just like a cheese grater coming out the other end?
You gotta chew on it a lot. You gotta grind that.
It's crazy.
They tell you that's so. Wolves don't have like dog breath because they have like non-scented breath because they eat the bones.
Whoa!
And it cleans their teeth. Yeah. There you go, Maggie.
You know what I heard the other day is that wolves do not take down their prey first try. Wolves have their saliva is bad, and they will bite their prey one time and then let it run off, and then come find it again because their saliva is toxic and it starts to like cripple their prey. Okay. And they'll wait for it to get like easier to catch, and then they'll go take it down.
Interesting.
I found that out the other day.
Interesting. I knew that was the case with Komodo dragons.
Okay, turns their blood septic.
Komodo dragons are.
I think your dad said it, Maggie.
Hives of absolute worst bacteria on the planet.
Ooh.
So they just have to bite you, and you're gonna die.
And yeah, it's GG's, no re.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull it. Animals are crazy. I watched. Listen, there's nothing quite like hotel TV. You know what I mean? You go to a hotel and you flip on that TV and you just flip through the channels, and it's always like History Channel or Discovery Channel that I always end up on. Or like Animal Planet.
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central. But I watched one thing, and it was doing like cool facts about different mountainous animals. Wolves have like a 400-pound a square inch bite force. Like in 1 square inch, which is like if you take this part of your finger and you do that 4 times, 400 pounds in a spot. And then if you take that and it goes down to the point of their tooth, it's even crazier. It's nuts. Yeah. That's a lot of bite force. And they're not even.
If you take this and mark out an inch.
Yeah, they're not even. They're not even the like. It's not even the highest bite force. And
that's what's great. It sucks.
I love watching stuff like that and learning about that stuff.
That's very interesting.
Oh, I have to tell you about the Chase money glitch. Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this. Yes.
Has everybody heard about the Chase money glitch? If not, I'm going to say it, or we're going to talk about it anyway because it's freaking nuts.
Yeah. But
Sexy Bigfoot
that's
hasn't
interesting.
heard about this Chase money glitch. Listen, the Chase money glitch. I have yet to see a white person say that they've done this. I'm just saying. Okay, every TikTok I've seen has been not white. Anyway, the Chase money glitch. A while back, maybe like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, somebody figured out that if you take a check, address it to yourself, you take a check, you write that check to yourself, and you put any number. You put 50,000 right on it, and you put it in the ATM to cash said check. There was a glitch or a flaw in the coding of the computers that would pay out the money and then check it later, instead of, because normally you put a check in and it's like, okay, it'll be 2 days before you can have this money, or sometimes with banks, there's like a waiting period to make sure that it's good so that it doesn't bounce. But the Chase bank system skipped that security protocol and just gave people the money. And so it goes on TikTok. People start going, look at all this money I have. The Chase money glitch, and so people just start doing this Chase money glitch, right? Getting thousands of dollars out of ATMs, making TikTok videos flaunting said money that they've gotten out of ATMs. And then like 4 days later, after Chase gets word of like, oh shoot, our system is exactly Sexy Bigfoot, that's fraud, and people should know that, but people don't know that. Probably shouldn't do that 100%. All of a sudden, Chase Bank finds out about this and starts garnishing all of their money back, right? Because that's check fraud, and we have your bank account, and we can, because it's our money.
And you signed your name.
And you signed your name on it. So people are waking up and their Chase bank account that had $90,000 in it now has a negative $90,000 bonus, $90,000 balance, and everything that was in your savings account gone because you owe that to Chase Bank. And people are all up in arms about, like, the people who did it don't realize, they're like, give me my money back. You're stealing my, and people don't realize this. You're going to jail. Actually, what's really going to happen is Chase is going to come find you with the police, and police are going to take you to jail. That was fraud. And there are people trying to go get lawyers about this, and like, I don't know what their
lawyers aren't taking cash.
I don't know. I don't know what their what their case is going to be. Like, what are you going to say? Like, oh, I didn't know. And it's like, listen, man, I heard that it was somewhere up to $9. It was something, it was a couple $1 million, or maybe almost $1 million they got withdrawn from Chase Bank. And all of that money is got to be paid back, or you got to, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's, it's unfortunate to see, but also people need to realize that you can't just get, there's no free money. Zero free money.
No. What? Like, get what you can. The banks steal from us all the time. Like, whatever.
Sure.
But that's the purest form of like one step money trail I think I've ever heard in my life. It's like, okay, if this doesn't get fixed, they're still going to be able to find you.
Right.
So, oh my goodness. I don't know. I feel sorry for these people, but at the same time, they're literally getting their hand stuck in a cookie jar. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Jaden Williams is what?
Oh, the Chase money glitch.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, people and don't know. Also, like, to be fair, we all know this is fraud. I don't remember getting taught that that's fraud in school. You know what I mean?
right, but also, there's got to be a point in time where critical thinking kicks in and goes,
No. Sorry. No.
yeah, maybe it doesn't.
No, there's
maybe
no point. There's no. Yeah, that is not true.
It never kicked in for these people. Critical thinking they missed that class.
No.
And to be honest, I don't think we have a critical thinking class, so that's even worse.
No, they don't teach it till college.
And
Usually, at least when I was growing up.
yeah, I saw a TikTok and this guy owed $999,000. He took out, or maybe it was 99000. Maybe it was 99,000. Maybe he took 100,000 and he had 99,000. He had 1,000 in his bank account, and Chase said, "I'll take that," and left him with a negative 99,000 balance.
Yeah, it's insane. Also, we did bail them out, so I feel like they can cover this one.
We bailed who out? Chase?
Chase.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, but it's so stupid.
How about Chase gets all their money back? Those people, maybe they spend a little bit of time in the clinker. Then they have to take a Dave Ramsey course. And then we let them back out. And all is well. That ends well, right? Doesn't go on their record. Yeah. They just have to do a little jail time.
If it doesn't go on your record.
Do a little jail time, take a Dave Ramsey course.
Yeah.
Get them back out there.
Or do you remember
a money literacy class? We'll say that.
Yeah. Do you remember the what was it? Wall Street glitch or something? Wall Street Banks thing that they did where a bunch of people bought the stocks for GameStop. Remember that? Like,
that was a money glitch.
That blew it. That was a money glitch. But it wasn't even a glitch. It was just something that you could do, but historically you couldn't get enough people to do it.
Yeah. We should do it again.
Yeah, right? Man, actually they made huge, like, dude, it was so stupid. Like, within days of this all going down, they started pushing through legislation to stop online banking, put brakes.
All of the rich people banking that make all their money from the stocks because they have insider trading, they're like, regular people are making money off of our thing.
And also, like, got it pushed through almost immediately. Do you know how hard it is to push through anything from a grassroots perspective?
Because listen, the people who are pushing it through also pay the people who they're pushing it through.
They're paying the politicians. Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas. Put your tinfoil hat on. Don't, because it's not a conspiracy.
It's not even a conspiracy.
It's freaking real.
And these people are so rich that they're not going to kill, well, knock on wood, they're not going to kill us because they're like, yeah, we don't care. We can buy everything out.
Unless you're Boeing.
Oh, yeah. Even then, it's like they're getting hit with, what are they called? Fees and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think anything, I hope stuff changes. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I hope stuff changes.
Trump did get shot at again on his golf course in Mar-a-Lago.
And they got the person who was shooting at him.
They got him. Yep. He tried to run away, and a person on the scene got a picture of the vehicle and their tag.
Nice.
So they were able to go track him down.
I have not paid him as much attention with this one. How about you?
From what I have seen so far, I have seen some leftist pages post about it. I have seen some right-leaning pages post about it. And from what I've seen, the leftists are going back on this guy's Twitter from 2016 to about 2021 or so. And they're like, look at this guy. He apparently he was like pro-Trump in 2016 when he voted for Trump. And then progressively his tweets, even in the liberal video that I watched, his tweets get a little bit interesting towards the 2022-ish area. And then they stopped, like the video that I watched, they were like, he's a right winger, right? And he shot at Trump. If you go to his like 2023, 2024 tweets, it's like this guy's fallen off the. If he was on the right leaning wagon, he fell off the right leaning wagon and bounced into the left leaning wagon because this, like the stuff that he's posting is crazy. I heard the SS sent an agent a hole ahead of Trump, and that's how he was caught. Yeah, the agent that went a hole ahead saw the gun barrel poking. The guy still got a shot off, but.
I read sent an agent a hole ahead.
But yeah, so I don't know a ton. I did know that they caught him. I do.
Yeah, that's.
And this is very insensitive of me, but these shots that people are taking are not that hard to hit.
How close was this one?
400 yards is what I heard.
400 yards?
Yeah.
So further than the other
further
one, right?
than the other one. Yes.
Yeah.
Much further.
Dude, how do you miss the freaking first one?
The first one was
insane.
Crazy. Act of God type thing.
Yeah.
300 to 200 or 300 to 400.
Yeah.
Now listen, I don't know what caliber this guy was shooting. I don't know anything about it.
I heard something about it was an AK,
AK?
variant. Yeah.
Oh.
Has anyone checked on BAT?
I don't know the ballistics of an AK-47.
They're not good for long range, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I've got a 243, and at 300 yards, it drops 11 inches. So if this guy wasn't prepared to aim up a little bit, he probably hit the ground way ahead of where he was aiming.
I don't condone this action at all. But I did see, not to make light of it, I did see somebody, it was like Trump was shot at this golf course, and one of the, probably 10 comments down, somebody put 4! And I laughed pretty hard at that.
The funniest meme I've seen is that he tweeted that he hates Taylor Swift, and then like a couple hours later he got shot at. So the Swifties are quick.
Bro,
me and Kevin actually shot at the same 300-yard range.
If all of this guy's tweets were pro Trump, and then like as soon as Trump said like I don't like Taylor Swift, like the next day this guy goes, he's like, no.
It was same day, same day. Same day Trump said he hates Taylor Swift. Same day he gets shot at.
That's it. Nobody talks about my T-Swift like that.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. Tell me about Christian Bale and Star Wars. What's that all about?
Oh, so I saw this video. It was an interview with Christian Bale, and it was like a. Huh?
We have 20 minutes left. Actually, we can do as long as we want. Tell your story.
It's whatever. Michelle isn't giving up on the FBI either. Wait, what? DeSantis.
Yeah, apparently the FBI is crazy.
Gotta love it. So, and something not severe at all. Christian Bale, I saw this interview where it was a this or that questionnaire, and it was there was like three answers that he gave were all pro Star Wars, right? And he said some stuff. I can find the video at some point, but he said some stuff that was very pro Star Wars, and my mind started racing of like, why didn't they get him for the prequels or sequels? You know what I mean? Because the prequels, he wasn't Batman yet. You know, he was good, and he knew but like wasn't a household name, I don't think, in like '98.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that's a good position to be in, to be cast in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And then with the sequels, like everybody, there's so many people got cameos as like stormtroopers. I think the guy who played James Bond was in it, as a stormtrooper. But it just got my mind racing of why they didn't have him for the prequels. And then, you know, if you were in charge of casting, where would you put him in the prequels?
Where would I put Christian Bale in the prequels?
Yeah. Because, I mean, the dude would gain 3,000 pounds to play Jabba the Hutt. You know? Like, he could...
He's pretty
transformative.
Dedicated.
Yeah.
Where would I put him? He would have been a good Anakin? Huh.
I was thinking about that today, Caleb.
How old would he have been in the prequels time?
So, I mean, younger than when he was in Batman.
Yeah.
Let me check.
So not young enough to play Anakin.
Not child Anakin.
Oh, that's
but
true. Yeah,
if they wanted, yeah.
I mean, it's tough because, like, I think most of the characters
it would have been like 28.
Most of the characters in Star Wars, like, they're so ingrained in Star Wars that I'm like, I don't, you know, like, he could have played a good Obi-Wan Kenobi maybe, but also like Ewan McGregor did a great job.
Right. I asked this to Kevin and he was like, I can't, it's really hard for me to replace anybody.
Yeah.
Because that's just how I see them.
He could, maybe not a main role, but maybe he could have been like a main guard that had lines in like Naboo, you know, or something. Or like a fighter or a fighter pilot.
Wait, who's KY? Kieramundi?
He could have played a banger Jar Jar Binks, I think.
Misa called Jar Jar Binks. Kai Lauren.
Kylo Ren.
He could have been Leia. Caleb, the more I think about this, the more I can't like fathom how good that would have been. The Anakin thing, I think he definitely had the range for it.
Yeah,
maybe not the presence though, but
he could have been. I love the guy who played the clone troopers, but he maybe could have been the clone troopers.
That's freaking who I said. Yeah. I said he should have played Jango Fett. He would have been Jango Fett and all the clones.
Yep.
I think he would have been amazing at that. Yeah. Like, talk about.
But it's
he could
like
do so much with that.
It's not like I want the guy who played Jango Fett to be replaced because I think he did amazing, right? And
I can't see it
now. Yeah. If we were to change it now, it wouldn't be right. It would be like this isn't right because it's not the right voice, it's not the right guy. Sure. But had he been originally casted for that, I think it would have been great.
Kevin says if they went pre-Phantom Menace, he could have played a young Qui-Gon. That's the thing. It's so hard with him because he could play any person.
He's pretty versatile. Yeah.
And he would probably disappear into the. But it's like trying to discern what he would have been best at. Oh, this is also after American Psycho. So after American Psycho, before Batman.
Yeah.
Have you seen all the American Psycho memes?
No. Yes. Yeah, I've seen the memes.
Yeah. Gosh, man, him as Anakin would have been just terrifying.
He would have been too old to play Kylo Ren, but if Kylo Ren had been back when he was younger, he definitely would have done a good Kylo Ren.
Sure, yeah. Although I do love Adam Driver. American Psycho is a lot, yes.
He, let's see. He could have been a killer Roy Gunray. You know what I mean?
Newt Gunray?
Yeah, whatever his name is. The Gunray guy. Roy sounded like it.
You can't do that. Just shoot her or something. I love it. But yeah, it just, if you ever need something to think about and you're away from your phone,
just think about
Who who he could have played.
New series called what character in any movie could Christian Bale have played?
This week, Spider-Man. Any person.
Spider-Man.
Next question.
He'd have been a banger. He'd have been friggin' really good at
Aunt May. Fantastic.
Aunt May. Oh man,
shoot. Yeah, love him.
He could be anybody in the
MJ.
Dr. Octopus would have been really great.
That's the first one I thought of. He would have been great.
Oh, Kevin just said it. He would have been a great Doc. Like that was a joke, but also not really.
Oh man.
Do you want to talk about the last thing on the list?
Sure. If you guys want more time.
I also have weird news. This might be a little bit longer of a pod, but I'm down for it.
Do you want to do yours thing first?
Yeah. We can do some weird news here.
Better Doctor Doom than RDJ, 100%.
Yeah, Doctor Doom would have been. I mean, Christian Bale could play that right now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking news. We were going to talk about Warhammer, but I feel like nobody really cares. I am on book 4. I have started.
Hey,
I've
fantastic!
Plowed through 3 books. Aren't these 2 hours anymore?
Usually
we
usually
switched
an hour and a half
to an hour and a half, Kev, just because of the time change. Scientists use food dye found in Doritos to make see-through mice.
Okay.
Stanford research has achieved a groundbreaking feat by making live mice partially transparent using common food dyes called tartrazine. The same
That's
yellow
my nickname in high school.
the same yellow dye found in products like Doritos. By applying the solution of this dye to the mice's skin, scientists to the mouse's skin, scientists were able to observe internal organs, including the liver and a beating heart, without any invasive procedures. This breakthrough could transform non-invasive medical research and offer new ways to study live organisms. What makes this discovery even more promising is the dye's safety and reservability. After rinsing the mouse, after a rinse, the mouse returned to their normal state. While it's uncertain whether this method would work on humans due to the thickness of our skin, the study opens the possibilities of less painful diagnostic procedures in the future. Isn't that kind of crazy?
That's awesome. I do want to see the new Doritos, Dorito extreme flavor invisibility glitch.
Yeah. You put your hand in a Dorito bag invisible. And it comes out missing.
You're just crunching up Doritos you can't see. Whoa.
Mice aren't animals, Kevin. Didn't you know that?
Testing on animals anymore.
Guy Fieri, the guy from Divers and whatever the frick that show's called.
Yeah.
He's a food guy. Was mistaken for a bartender and told to get back to work while hanging out. While hanging at Sylvester Stallone's house. In a humorous case of mistaken identity, Food Network star Guy Fieri was once confused for a catering staff at Sylvester Stallone's house. And the incident occurred in 2020 as Fieri recounted during his appearance on In Depth with Graham Bensinger this week. Dressed in his signature denim jacket while in Stallone's cigar room, Fieri's laid-back look led to mix-up. I'm looking around, and this lady comes in and goes, "Lose the jacket, get going." Fieri recalled explaining how she thought he was a bartender once the woman realized her mistake There was plenty of laughter. We had a great laugh, Fieri said. Can you imagine?
That's amazing. If any celebrity in the world would be like mistaken for a bartender, it
would be him. Can you imagine how embarrassed that lady must have felt?
Yeah, like that's rough.
Like, like you said, I think if anybody would have been mistaken, but I think if anybody else would have happened to them, they would have been not laughing about it, because the tone, lose the jacket, get going.
Yeah.
If somebody came up to me and I was at Sylvester Stallone's house because he invited me over to like smoke cigars, and somebody told me to take my jacket off and get back to work, I'd be like, who the frick are you?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
That's crazy. Also, that's what I was thinking, is that's not, at least you didn't like start berating him.
Yeah.
You know, like, and dressing him down and stuff like that. Because that's, with people like that, I'm surprised he didn't get more
I'd pick up a tray and say, yes, ma'am, start cleaning tables. And then somebody's like, why is Guy Fieri over there cleaning tables? And they're like, who? And they're like, oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Study.
I love that.
Playing video games can improve mental health and life satisfaction.
Which games?
A study... Sorry. Right? A study published... It's probably like Skyrim or something.
The Sims, maybe?
A study published in Nature Human Behavior suggests that playing video games can lead to better mental health and increased life satisfaction. The research, which followed nearly 100,000 people in Japan over 2 years, discovered that owning and playing consoles like a Nintendo Switch or PlayStation 5 helped reduce psychological distress. This study challenges past concerns about gaming's negative impact, indicating that when used in moderation, video games can be a valuable tool to improve mental well-being. No Xbox, because they did
Xbox?
They did this in Japan, and nobody has an Xbox in Japan.
Yeah, they also didn't do PC. There's so much to unpack here, I think, because it's literally like, which game?
Yeah,
and if so, how can I get that game?
I think it's
when they said Nintendo Switch,
like Mario and Zelda and all of these like real laid back games.
Yeah, Caleb said that they, for damn sure. Yeah, talking about Warzone.
Yeah, not Warzone.
It's not Warzone. On one hand, the reason I'm friends with my friends is because of video games.
Absolutely,
that's how we bond. On the other hand, if this is true, how destitute would I be without video games? Like, because I'm barely holding on now.
I would say that without video games, there would be something else.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If you didn't have video games, there would be another thing that would get you to do stuff. I would assume. I would hope.
Like heroin.
Like, yeah. And dude, have you seen how camaraderie is shared between crack addicts? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, same with you. Like, I've met you over video games. I met Kevin at a gaming party, which led me to meet you gaming. I met Caleb and Josh at a homeschool event, but then we like started playing games together. It's
like if I didn't meet you on Xbox, we became better friends.
I can confidently say that 75% of the people that I know and call friends, I met while gaming. And I can say with sort of, obviously TikTok had a big play in this, but Maggie, I don't think I would have known Maggie as well as I do if she hadn't watched me play video games on stream for as long as she did. Because she's like the first person that watched.
Absolutely.
I think as an adult, especially, video games are a great way to keep up with friends. We just had the conversation last night. I think that obviously in the article it said with moderation, and I think that's the key.
Yes.
I think if you go outside of moderation, like anything, it becomes something that you don't want. You start pheromone maxing your feet, or something like that.
Yeah. I think I watched first.
Kevin watched first.
Yeah, but not as much. Yeah, even my friends from college, throughout my collegiate career, I did not make very many friends, but the ones I still have are because of video games.
Yeah, and you can keep up with them because of video games.
Yeah, and it's like you're talking and completing stuff, so it's great.
Yeah, and I
agree.
I think it also plays to, at least for dudes, it plays for that that urge to like play together, right?
Yeah.
Because like as kids, what do we do? We like go outside, pretend we're shooting bad guys, or we go out and play Nerf guns, or go out and build a treehouse or something. So like
as
video
kids.
Games, and as adults, but like video games are that, right? It is that, just not outside, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Even Dustin, we grew up together as kids, lost contact during high school, and then we spent a whole bunch of time playing video games.
Back together over video games.
We came back together.
I will forever and always be a pro video game person. I have had conversations with people who are like, I don't think video games are good for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, almost a lot of the things that I have in life are because of video games. It's like I owe video games a lot. And I think apart from just like the camaraderie and the friendships that are built off of it, I'll also like fine motor skills and like my ability to make decisions, my ability to, react quickly to situations. I think it's partial to video games.
Yeah, I think so too. And then, as always, in moderation. Because I think video games have a really, especially modern, but they get very addictive.
Yeah.
And so you need to have a plan to be like, this is for socializing.
Yeah.
As opposed to anything. But have fun, Kevin. We video games did that. Yeah. Also, they're not talking about. I'll tell you one thing. They're not talking about War Thunder either.
No.
I'll tell you that for sure.
No.
Ugh.
Not War Thunder.
Man.
I feel like for your mental health, single player games are the best route.
Man, yeah.
Unless you're talking to friends.
For like a meditative state, maybe for sure. The only thing is like you can't play with friends.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate issue with
every time I play a single player game, I think, man, this would be so much better if I could play this multiplayer with people.
Yeah. Even if it's just because J-Bob's very staunchly against that idea, and I don't think as much anymore, but it depends on the game and depends on the how they do it.
I can see that.
Like, yeah, because like if you could do Skyrim, but it's like, hey, I need help now, but otherwise you can be on the same world and just doing different things.
Sure.
Or like, hey, look what I just found. Hey, now War Thunder is totally helping my brain. Kevin, that's not good. 76 was a testament that didn't work. Yeah, exactly.
There are certain games that shouldn't be multiplayer.
It just doesn't work a lot of times, and it sucks.
Yep.
Like Caleb said. Yeah.
Here's a person who maybe should have played a little more video games and maybe would have had more friends. A London woman who married herself files for divorce just 1 year after. I saw this and I said, how does that even work? So here we go. A 36-year-old model and influencer who made headlines for marrying herself in a London ceremony last year has now filed for divorce. Her self-marriage was initially celebrating as a bold challenge to conventionalized romantic norms, symbolizing self-love and independence. However, a year into the unique union, Carrie is her name, shared that the experience left her feeling unexpectedly lonely, despite undergoing therapy to strengthen her relationship with herself. She revealed that that's like no shit, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't you ever think that? Okay.
She revealed that the consistent self-reflection and secure I don't think they spelled that word right.
Might be British.
Yeah. Became overwhelming, leading to her decision to end the commitment. First of all, why do you have to marry yourself legally to do this? And second of all,
get to?
Yeah, how did that even go?
Who let this happen?
How'd that work?
To Kevin's point, yeah, she was an influencer, so I think clearly this
There's a
has
clout
to do with a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's a collab.
No, clout.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Wolfsbane, I might agree with you on that, but I think this is just so much further than that.
I think
just
this lady
narcissist illusions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's what Maggie said.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
what a crazy time.
Crazy time. And I think it's mainly for clout. I don't
Sure.
think. And she's influencer and model and all that stuff. So probably narcissism.
The part that gets me is the part where she's like, I found myself more lonely and depressed.
Yeah.
It's like, you thought you were going to have like more friends or something when you were married to yourself?
Well, that's what's crazy. She said she did this as like an expression of self-love.
Yeah.
And then seemingly as soon as she did it, she's like, "Oh, this feels terrible.
Oh, I don't love myself."
Yeah. And yeah, no. Well, you could do that with you don't necessarily need churches given. I think you could do it with just the government, so it's on paper.
I bet she has a lot of choice thoughts on marriage, probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got a divorce.
They changed now.
She had to divorce herself.
Man, that's nuts. I saw this story.
Ooh, I can't stand myself.
I saw this story, and then, like, not to judge a book by its cover, but she looked like somebody who would do this.
Yeah.
You know
Also,
what I mean?
how do you give yourself the silent treatment?
Yeah. And like, what happens when she goes and talks to her mom?
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe she has to have two conversations.
the other person's right there. Oh man, and it's like she's not allegedly not multiple personality disorder, so it's just one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is
in better news.
freaking London.
In better news, this is a heartwarming story. John Bon Jovi praised for talking a woman off the ledge of a Nashville bridge. John Bon Jovi and his team were setting up for a shoot near the Chamberlain River when the singer noticed a woman appearing to be in crisis. On the I don't know how to say that. It was a pedestrian bridge. Footage from the local police department captures John Bon Jovi, walking over to her, waving hello, and leaning on the railing. As they spoke, after a brief conversation, the woman and Bon Jovi embraced before walking away from the ledge together. Metro Nashville Police Department acknowledged the singer's heroic efforts on social media, thanking him and his team for their role in persuading the woman to step away from the ledge and ensuring her safety.
Yeah. Give it up for Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Like, good job. Have you seen the video that accompanied this report?
I have not.
It's really sweet. I actually saw Bon Jovi in concert, but seems like a really decent person. I say that next week he's gonna get canceled, but this really is heartwarming that he was able to step in. And I think it must have been so crazy for the person who was, in crisis, to be like, debating it, and then they look and it's literally like Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Listen,
he's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
I don't know what this lady said before getting to that point, whether she prayed and was like, "Listen, God, if you're real, you better send a sign." And then Bon Jovi shows up. Like,
yeah.
Also, did he start singing, whoa, we're halfway there before she was like fully away from the ledge?
Probably not.
Whoa!
Yeah, he's like pulling her over.
Living on a prayer. Take my hand. You'll make it, I swear.
Oh,
Whoa!
Man. Bro, if you walked up to her singing that part, it would be so freaking good. Oh shoot, man! You know what I saw?
Is that Bon Jovi? I got that right?
Yeah, no, you did. That was very good.
Good reference.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah, congrats to you. You got the lyrics right, and that was Bon Jovi. Let's freaking go, dude.
Somebody clip it. No, actually, don't. That wasn't. I was joking.
Oh man. No, it's love that guy.
I have tears. Take my hand really gets
very
me.
Cute. Very cute story.
Yeah. All right, I've got two more, and we'll wrap up and let Mike close us out. This is crazy town. A 38-pound cat gets stuck in a shoe rack while trying to escape from a diet camp. And this cat, when I tell you this cat doesn't have any hair on its tummy because it probably drags himself around, I'm being honest. Wait, hold on. I don't know. Can you see it? There's a glare.
Yeah.
There.
Oh, that's so good.
This buddy is stuck. A hefty cat named Kroshik. I don't know how to say that. Weighing nearly 38 pounds, tried to escape a diet center in Perm, Russia, but got stuck. That's the fattest person in Russia right there. But got stuck in a shoe rack with his face in a crock. The cat, who became severely overweight after being fed cookies and soup in a hospital basement, was placed on a strict diet. Was placed on a strict plan to shred the pounds. Despite his failed escape, staff saw it as a positive sign of his growing activity. Vets predict that he will lose 70 to 50 grams per week as he continues his weight loss journey.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
My God, I'm crying.
And if that's not like a little bit of all of us, right? Trying to freaking just escape the diet camp.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. I love that story so much.
It's so funny. Like you can't make this stuff up. Like that has to happen.
Oh my gosh.
For it to be a real thing.
I'm so surprised that happened in Russia.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected a cat.
That's crazy.
But it wasn't a hospital basement, so I'm assuming it was like the hospital cat, and probably like everybody every once in a while was giving him a cookie. But like I'm giving him a cookie, and I didn't know you're also giving him.
Communicating.
Nobody, and so this cat's just like getting freaking fed.
Yeah.
Until they realize,
go down there and
hey,
like,
this cat can't move. Like this cat's looking pretty fat.
The cat's like, comrade, please give me another cookie.
I have seen the Ukraine drums with a thermite.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Last.
I thought the capitalists were supposed to be the fat cats.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Is that a war crime?
War crimes. I just did some research on war crimes. Not as many things are war crimes as you would think. But or that had been said.
Apparently a pump shotgun is, frick.
If the Germans had won, shotguns would have been.
Not the first time. It's only a war crime the second time. Here's my last news here for everybody. iPhone 16 will be the first in years without stickers in the box.
Oh, okay.
The little Apple stickers. Who freaking cares?
Man, recession must be bad.
Like, who really cares about who's used more than one sticker?
Yeah, what tool?
Yeah, like you got your iPhone 4 and used one sticker out of that box, and now you're up like
right.
And I got two every time I bought an iPhone after that. Apple has long announced that the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro will no longer include an Apple sticker in the box. As part of the company's broader environmental goals, stickers will be still available, but only upon request at the Apple Store and not through third-party retailers or online orders. This move is in line with Apple's commitment to eliminate plastic packaging by 2030, with the iPhone 16 packaging now being entirely fiber-based. Other recent Apple products, such as the Apple Vision Pro and iPads, have also phased out, including stickers. Again,
bro, they do this for environmental reasons, but every 2 phones they change the charging port. Like, you're so full of crap. Oh my gosh, that annoys me. Not you, them. But that annoys me so much.
Listen, I've seen a lot. I've been an Apple. I've had Android phones before. I've been using iPhones for quite some time now, and I'm well aware that iPhones are not the they're not the greatest as far as like technology, right? They're not ahead of the game. They're not really. They're just an iPhone, right? But you know what you're getting when you get an iPhone because it's been the same for 10 years. I've seen a lot of people upset about the iPhone 16 release and the fact that they're not releasing much with the iPhone 16.
They're taking a lot of stuff away, right?
I don't know. I haven't kept too much. I know there's like a new camera button on one of the sides. I think it's the right hand thumb side, so you can like click a camera, or you click the button and your camera comes up. I don't know. People were underwhelmed, to say the least, at the Apple release of the iPhone 16.
Yeah.
And have been people have been like, I'm switching it up. So people are switching it up.
Man, that's on one hand, I'm like, good. Who cares?
Right.
On the other hand, I wonder if they're gonna sell them as eye stickers, and they're gonna be like $30. You know what I mean?
Maybe. They said upon request. It didn't say anything about it costing anything, but being Apple, I can't imagine that it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be free.
Right.
It's free with a purchase.
Yeah, exactly. You have to prove that you purchased. Like, send in the serial number,
or just go buy something at the Apple Store.
A whole different thing, like cereal box tops.
Yeah. The box tops you have to bring in. You got to bring in 57 box tops to get your Apple sticker.
Right. iPhone box tops.
iPhone box tops. Yeah, you have to bring in all of the years of iPhone to get your iPhone stickers.
Jeez. Wouldn't surprise me.
You give us the little paper that had the stickers on it, and we'll give you a new paper with stickers on it.
If you bring one sticker in, it's like take a penny, leave a penny.
We'll give you a new sticker.
We'll give you the new iPhone iStickers S.
Mm-hmm. It's chipped.
Man. Keep away from your head, because this is pretty radioactive.
Yeah. It glows. Yeah. That's all my weird news.
Very nice, man. That has been weird news.
Weird freaking news.
Love it.
Are you...
Heard these don't work as well with Android, but who cares? Oh. Let people do what they want. You know what's annoying is, like, they could make it work with Android. That's the issue.
Yeah.
But they're like, nah, if you have an Apple product, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what Android is doing is more innovation. They're branching out and making new folding phones and making new, other stuff.
Trying other things. Yeah.
And Apple's like, we're just going to keep making the same thing. And I want Apple to start making new things. I want them to like innovate, but also make it Apple,
Sure, yeah.
Not because I'm like an Apple diehard, but just because like I enjoy their product as far as phones go.
Yeah. And I'm guessing headphones too, yeah? Historically.
I do have
with the
AirPods.
Beats and the AirPods, yeah. Yeah, man. Annoying. Freaking annoying.
It is dumb.
But, We can talk about my thing if you want.
Sure, send it.
So this might be a long story, so I apologize to anybody. Kind of a life update. Let's see. So 2 years ago, for people who've been around a while, they know I haven't had my glasses forever. And I just started wearing those about a year ago ish. 2 years ago, year and a half, 2 years ago, I started developing some weird eye issue where it was, it's really hard to describe, but basically, it's almost like whenever you press down on your eyes, the like sparks you see.
Yeah.
But it's all the time. And it was almost to the point where I didn't notice it. And then I started noticing it more and more. Went to an optometrist last year, a guy here in Owasso, amazing, love him. And he didn't have anything to base it on. So he just looked at my eyes and couldn't find anything wrong with my eyes. He was like, come back later. We'll have this as a baseline and we'll be able to, see if there's anything, if it worsens at all. I also want to preface this with this life update is not as bad as it sounds. But a year passes 3 weeks ago. I think I may have even mentioned it on the podcast right before because it was like the next day. I had a meeting, and went to the optometrist and he checked my eyes. Essentially my left eye had deteriorated quite a bit. If I close my right eye, I can't read anything unless it's a billboard with my left eye. And it had definitely deteriorated in a year. But what he did was, did all the tests and nothing with my eyes themselves had changed. Mm-hmm. So realistically, there was no reason I should be having any sort of vision issue. I actually, all these stupid little Photoshops that I do, I was able to make a representation of what I was seeing, and it really helped, communicate what I was dealing with. So not all stupid things are, completely stupid. Let's see. So, he basically said it could be what is called a pituitary adenoma. Thank you. And he said you should get a CT scan and an MRI as soon as you can schedule one. I was like, okay, I don't really know what's going on. But that's good to know. He was saying it's essentially a growth in the pituitary gland, and it could be pressing down on my optic nerve.
Okay.
And I just hear alarm bells kind of start going off.
Yeah.
I get home probably, 10, 15 minutes after I talked with him, and I get a call from him personally, and he's like, hey, we need to cancel out that it's not a tumor in the vision part of your brain, because that's at the back and that's way worse.
Yeah.
So he was like, you need to go to the emergency room and get a CT scan as soon as possible.
Right.
Medical anxiety increases. Exactly. So I went there, and then he was like, get an MRI as soon as possible as well. MRI is more complicated, better picture. So I go to the emergency room. He actually, I love him so much. He's the best optometrist ever, because he called ahead and was like, hey, I'm sending a patient to you. And what emergency room gets a patient from an optometrist? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so they had kind of everything sort of set up when I got there.
Sure.
But I was extremely lucky, thank God. MRIs are not constantly on. They usually take scheduling to get on. when I went in, they had the machine up and running and were like ready to go.
Yeah.
So thank God, but I was able to get my CT scan and MRI the same day. That's kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. That I believe it was that day we confirmed that there was a pituitary adenoma. And it wasn't the thing in the back of my head. Thank God. So, like I said, it's essentially a tumor on my pituitary gland. And so with with my doctor, we were able to schedule appointments, get everything we needed to. Through the optometrist, we were able to get everything through. And this is crazy for me. And let's see. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, sorry. I read up online around this time that if it starts affecting the vision, it basically guarantees that it needs surgery to fix.
Sure.
Which is fine. Thank God I have insurance. But also the pituitary gland's in charge of hormones, including growth hormones.
Gotcha.
And it's kind of weird. I had a bunch of symptoms that I had no clue were symptoms.
Yeah.
Kind of the craziest one is sensitivity to heat. And this manifested in the craziest way where I would microwave stuff.
Yeah.
And go to get the plate out of the microwave and literally was like, man, this is so hot. And, I would almost have to put on gloves to get things out of the microwave. Yeah. And then my food wasn't warm. And I should have been like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, man, these plates suck. Yeah. But yeah, who would have thought that was a symptom of something?
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably going to have 2 surgeries. Okay. One to like relieve pressure, and then the other one to clean everything up.
Sure.
Let's see. I went to my neurosurgeon, the guy who's going to be working on me. Found out they're actually going to be doing the surgery through my nose. So that's fun. But it's the pituitary gland's underneath the brain. So, but it's like...
So you can reach the brain through the nose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
I think I did look this up. So technically the pituitary is not part of the brain, but it's literally right up next to it. But I went to this neurosurgeon, and man, when I tell you, pauses in statements are so important, because he goes, he lays everything out for me, and he goes, unfortunately, we can't. He says there's nothing we can do, and pauses, and then says except surgery. And I was like, bro, I know that we're past this part. The only thing we can do is surgery. Yeah, but the way he said it was like there's nothing we can do. I was like, oh no. And he's like, except surgery. I'm like, yeah, dude, clearly.
Just stands up, punches him.
Oh, man. But my heart sank for half a second on that. Let's see. So over the last week or so, but yeah, he's a great doctor.
He was probably reading his handwriting and couldn't figure out. He was like, yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. What did I write here? Oh, except for surgery.
He gets confused because he's like, no, I thought there was something we could do. Oh, except surgery.
My notes, I forgot. My notes were just...
Sorry, I can't even read this. Oh, man. That's great. So this last week or so, I didn't want to mention anything because we didn't have a date for the surgery, and I didn't know all the stuff. This has the procedure or the diagnosis with this has a 97% survival rating. So it's a big deal, but there's so many worse things it could be.
It's a kind of a common surgery.
I wouldn't say it's super common, but it like they know what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. My optometrist said that he's been working 13 years as an optometrist and had this happen 3 times.
Okay.
With 3 different patients. So, I mean, you know, it's not super normal, but it's weird. Let's see. This last week or so, I've been doing... They've asked for more scans. I've been meeting my doctor or my neurosurgeon, and then ear, nose, and throat guy who's going to be assisting the neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like 3 doctors in on the surgery itself.
Yeah.
So in good hands. Let me think. So the reason I wasn't here last week is because I was getting more scans done.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't want to bring up thanks Sexy. Didn't want to bring up anything until I knew
they're still
the actual
practicing
date.
though.
Yeah, freaking doctors are always practicing. So I have a meeting with my neurosurgeon Thursday, this Thursday. Then Friday I have a pre-op, and then the following Friday I will have my surgery.
Gotcha.
Gonna be out of commission for at least 3 days, so might miss out on a podcast then. But it's gonna be interesting because they're gonna be poking around, and that's gonna be in charge of my hormones. So we're gonna see how that does. On top of like this fixing my vision, it also thank you, Sexy. That's very kind. This also, like I said, I had a bunch of symptoms that I didn't know I had. One of them was like sluggishness and severe lack of energy, which I thought I was just being like, I knew it was bad, but I thought I was just being lazy. But there was things that I couldn't do, and I'm like, I do this all the time. What's going on?
You're right.
Let's see. There's some weird stuff with like weight gain.
Sure.
And one sec. Yeah, and the biggest issue, the biggest tell-all was the vision issue.
Yeah.
Also, like weight gain, but upper body only, which is what I have. Which is kind of crazy to me. But
Mike's gonna be jacked come January next year.
Here's hoping, dude. Because I worked out during this and was fighting an uphill battle. Mm-hmm. And you know, I have a picture of me and Justin, same amount of workout, same weights and same everything, and he's just shredded.
Yeah.
And I'm like bulked, but not in a fun way.
Right.
How did they find out it was on my thyroid? Wait, not thyroid. What is it? Sorry. Pituitary. Because of the vision issues, it's literally swelling up and pushing down on my optical nerve, and that's what's causing the interference.
Yeah. The thyroid gland is also responsible for
that's
a
another,
lot of
yeah,
issues.
Yeah, and that's as of right now, they don't think it's my thing's cancerous, which thank God.
Nice.
But they are going to be doing biopsies and like sending it off and double checking. It just seems to be like some sort of buildup that happens with people.
Yeah.
That's on your throat though. Yeah. Yeah. So literally, my optometrist was the one who found it, and I'm going to send the office like Chick-fil-A cookies for everybody. Because without him, I wouldn't have gotten better. This wouldn't have been
he
found.
didn't see it though, but he had the thought that it could be that.
Right. He knew the symptoms well enough to be like, this is probably this.
Yeah.
So thank God for him.
And
thank God for all that.
And he advised you to get it checked out.
Right. The way he said it too was so good. I can't remember verbatim what he said, but the way he said you need to go to the ER right now was so like, it was calming, and it was also like I had the choice to do it.
Yeah.
And it went in it helped me out so much. I know about the medicine because Wait. I know too much about medicine because I know about this specific tumor. Wait, what?
Just Maggie knows too much about the medical world.
Oh, sure. But yeah, thank God we found it.
Well, good.
And yeah, if I miss podcasts, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well,
but coming out of this should be really good.
Yeah, man. We're it's A-okay to be missing a podcast, and we'll get updates from you when you get back or on the Discord or whatever.
For sure.
But thank you for sharing and letting everybody know. And Mike
I also want to tell you guys because I love you.
Yeah, Mike had told me, but I was like, I don't know what any of that means. So I was like, I was just as interested.
I didn't know what I didn't even
hear the story as Mike was just to tell it.
So I'm gonna recover, praying for speedy. Oh yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, they put like a vacuum tube up there and just suck it right out.
I'm just seeing it as I'm just seeing it as like a lumbotomy, but through the nose.
Yeah,
just like ping, like that's all I'm seeing.
Just like they gotta scrape a barnacle off the bottom of your skull.
Exactly. We have a vacuum at home.
Yeah. Mom, can we stop and get a lobotomy? We have lobotomies at home.
Oh man, exactly. No, this has been a very eye-opepening like playing operation. Exactly.
They hit anything in there, and Mike's gonna go start over.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. It's perfect. Crazy with it.
What a lot of barnacles,
right? That's what. So whenever I was trying to figure out what this was, I was so worried that they would have to go through my eye because there's some surgeries that they have to do that, or they literally put, I guess, cringe warning. They put needles in your eye while you're awake.
Yeah.
And I was so unbelievably worried that's what it was.
Why would they do that? Do they have to do that while you're awake?
There's, I don't think you can do REM sleep because your eyes are moving.
Oh.
So you have to be somewhat.
My eyes, guaranteed, my eyes could be moving around if you're trying to poke me in the
right. My ADD ass. Trying to dodge it, like
Doctor's like, look over here, and then you like look over there, and you look back at the needle. Look over here. I can't.
Look up there.
I can't do
it. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. I that's what I told. So J Bob asked me about it right before I went in. Yeah. I was like, if I have to have my eye removed, at least I'll have a really good cosplay for that one guy at Helm's Deep. but Simon didn't say.
Yeah, they just take a spoon and your eye right out and
yeah, exactly, and we're done.
Take a round in there. All right, we did it.
Oh shoot, yeah.
Not modern medicine, but modern medicine in the 1800s.
Yeah. Oh man, they just do some weird like Three Stooges thing to get it out. Just take a mallet and just pop.
Here's some cocaine. Gonk.
Count backwards from 30.
Yeah. On the count of 3. 1.
Exactly. Spoon Man. Oh yeah, love it.
Well,
but that's what my life's doing.
Thanks for the medical life update for us. I went to the dentist. My thing's way not as cool as yours. Went to the dentist for a cleaning the other day, and
cavities?
No, I haven't been to the dentist in 10 years. And they were like, just some plaque, but you're good.
Let's go. Let's go, dude.
Hell yeah, brother.
Cool. None, which is so frustrating. Hey, man, you take care of those things.
I don't even.
Pearly whites.
That's the thing, though.
Man, that might be a scam.
I floss sometimes. I brush at least one time a day.
I got those. I switched to the electric, toothbrush.
Yeah.
That is so much better at cleaning plaque. It's insane.
I bet. I need to get one because it's really hard to clean I have a permanent bottom retainer, and I can't.
Hey,
and that's
same.
where all the plaque was.
Yeah.
I can't clean underneath it very good.
Yeah. It doesn't get rid of all the plaque, but it's crazy how good it is.
Sure.
Compared to just, vanilla.
Anyhow,
Plus daily,
yeah, she freaking goes. She goes so hard for cleaning her
Goes to
teeth,
town.
and then goes to the dentist, and are like, "Yeah, you have cavities." But they say that it's all about the bacteria and stuff that you have in your mouth, and genetics.
So okay, I was gonna say, because there's no way without regiment we have less.
Well, it's not like
in our mouth.
less or more. It's good to bad.
Oh,
Like good bacteria and bad bacteria.
Mm.
But anyhow, that's our extended edition podcast.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for being here, hanging out with us. Let's see.
Sorry.
I'm spitting in my mouth. You will be surprised to hear that that's not the first time she said. I'm just kidding. That's
nice. I heard screaming in the background.
That's just a joke. Just a joke.
No, he's talking about me, Maggie.
But appreciate everybody being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're the guys who trust with your drink. We'll be here next week, right, Mike? It's not this week, but the next.
Yes,
it's not next week, but the next week.
Next week. Gold.
We'll be right here next week, ready to go. What was I going to say? I feel like I had an announcement. Oh,
I care a lot. Yeah.
I should be ordering the t-shirts this week.
Ooh.
So if you haven't given me your t-shirt size on Discord, do that, and I'll make sure that I have enough. The first order is going to be 12 shirts. So if you're wanting one, they're going to be about $32. And I'll get them, and then I'll cover shipping to wherever.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's the update. Anyhow, love you, mean it. Stay hydrated, stay hammered, stay healthy. From the guys you trust with a drink. Peace.